morning. Hello. Welcome to day one. Day one? No, it's not even day one yet. That's next week. It's day 0 of the Brandathon challenge. How are we all doing, my loves? How is everyone feeling? Are we feeling excited? So, one thing I am going to say is that if you are watching me on Instagram right now, or if you're watching me on YouTube right now, this is the only Brandathon live you are going to get. Okay, because basically what I've done is that I have only done the Brandathon trainings, which are next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, day 1, day 2, day 3. I've only actually done those in the Facebook group. And to get access to that group, you need to join the Brandathon challenge. Little bit cheeky, I know, but I thought I'd give you guys like a little taster of kind of what we're going to be doing. So if you are watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I'll send you like a nice little automated DM that will basically give you the lowdown. And if you're watching anywhere else, it's handmadebosses.com/Brandathon. So if you haven't joined yet, you need to join because it's going to be really, really good. So how are we feeling about our branding, right? I would actually really love for you guys to summarize in, let's do like a score out of 10, right? And if you don't know, I actually did do the Brandathon test, which if you want me to run through, let me know and I can run through that with you now. But basically, let me just find the Brandathon test for everyone in the Facebook group to join. There we go. But basically, I would love to ask you how you are feeling about your brand right now. Like, how are you feeling about things? Are you feeling like it is something that you're proud of? Are you thinking that it's something that if someone was to like discover you, let's say like, I don't know, you had someone like a massive influencer in the space that discovered your brand, would you honestly, hand on heart, would you be proud of your brand? So I would love for you to give your brand a score out of 10. Okay, and then for anyone who hasn't taken that Brandathon test yet, no email required, nothing like that. It's just a nice little like Google form. Go in there, take the test, and it will tell you what your score is and basically tell you how much money your brand is costing you because it's repelling the wrong people. Because we know that if you have the wrong brand, if your brand is not really vibing with your target audience, it's actually going to repel people, right? So let me know, how are you feeling about things? Catherine says it's about an 8, but there's room for improvement. About a 4, it's a bit wishy-washy, says Quirky Bird Pebbles. Kavana Candle Company says about 6. I like the logo and banner, but really needs to tidy everything else up. That's about a 5. Yes, I'm so proud of my business right now. So busy with repeat and new customers. Awesome. That's really cool. So obviously, we got a 4 out of 10. I feel mine is a 9, but then I doubt my own judgment. Michelle, if you take that test, that will kind of like let you know if like your judgment is correct or not. Pretty please, an 8 out of 10. A strong 6, 1 out of 10. Confused and underwhelmed and brandless. Help. Well, you are in the right place. So basically, what we're going to do is with the Brandathon, the tangible thing that you are going to walk away with is you are going to walk away with clarity around your brand. You're going to understand, okay, now I know exactly who my target audience are. I know what my brand is for. I know how it's attracting people. Like, we're going to do a lot of like the back end work. That's going to be like very heavily on day 1. Okay, we're really going to go all into what our core values are, what feelings we want people to feel, obviously, when they come to our business, when they come to our brand. Then we are going to be, in fact, let me just grab my slide so I can give you like a bit more of a in-depth like lowdown rather than me just trying to remember off the top of my head when I made these things. So basically, then day 2, we're going to talk about how to position your brand. So we're going to be talking about your competitors and what all of that means. We're going to really be defining your brand's personality, okay? And we're going to really go into your USP, your unique selling proposition. We're going to be talking all about that. Day 3 is exciting because day 3 is actually when we start to craft and create a tangible brand board. And I'm going to be walking you through the steps, giving you the templates, all that good stuff of exactly everything that you need to do. But before we do that, I need you all to bookmark this page. And let me just give you Right, I need to figure out how to do this. Right, I'm going to share this tab instead. We're going to add that. So you can all see that, right? I need you to bookmark this page. Okay, now I'm only going to send it to the guys that are in the Facebook group because obviously they have joined the Brandathon challenge. If you haven't joined yet and you're watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I will send you all the good stuff, or it's handmadebosses.com/Brandathon. But you are going to get all of these goodies. So we're going to have the day 0 replay here. Not only that, I've got 3 additional free workshops for you to take. Then obviously you've got the PDFs here. You've got day 1, day 2, and day 3 for you, all here ready for you to just click on. You don't have to like rewatch it through Facebook again, because we know that's really annoying. Most of the time it doesn't actually work. So obviously, yeah, you probably want to make sure that you have those links right. Right, let me find the correct slides that I need now. So let me share that. I hope that you guys can all see this. We had a little bit of problems the other day when I was doing the coaching call, and it was just like, oh, please work. I love my branding, but I feel like it needs work to be sure. Yes. And that's the thing, is that you might like your branding. You might kind of go, I like my colors. I don't want to change my colors. You don't have to change anything that you don't want to change. But I feel like, and I'd love to see a show of hands if this is you. I feel like with a lot of people, what they do is they create their brand first because of the colors they like and the colors they feel vibe with the product. And then they kind of start to think, like obviously when I talk a lot about branding and your target audience and how like attracts like, and then they start to think about the strategy behind it. So it's like you do it the wrong way round, whereas in this challenge, we're going to kind of do it the right way round, so that obviously we are creating and kind of looking at, okay, what's the strategy behind this brand? Because believe it or not, all brands have a strategy behind it. It's not just thrown together colors and lovely things, despite what they may say. So are we ready? How are we feeling about getting going on this challenge? Obviously, today is day 0. And actually what might be helpful is if I share, hang on, there we go. So this is the calendar of events that's kind of going on in March. Okay, so we have day 0, which is obviously today. Then we have the Welcome Wagon Week, and this is basically where in the Facebook group we are dropping a bunch of really cool posts for you to meet other makers, network, talk to people, follow new people, get views, get visits on your social media, a load of really cool stuff. Okay, so that is what's going on for the Welcome Wagon Week. Not only that, but you have 3 trainings that I want you guys to go through in preparation for next week. Okay, because next week, as you can see, on the 17th, 19th, and the 21st, we have a bunch of really amazing trainings. And I'm going to be going live a little bit like I'm doing here to deliver those. Okay. Now, not only that, but on the 19th, the HBSA is opening its doors for the very first time this year. So if that sounds exciting to you, we also have a wait list there. And also there are implementation days in between. So don't worry if you're like, God damn, this is a lot of work, because it will be work and it will be hard work. And it's going to require a lot of space, a lot of thinking, a lot of reflection time, right? So we've allowed you time to do that, okay? But basically what I want from you is, especially next week, I need your undivided attention, because we know that if you are going to kind of dip in, dip out, it's not really going to work, okay? So I am so excited that you are here, because I want you to get ready to transform your lackluster business into something that stands out in the sea of mediocrity. I talk a lot about this, and I really need everyone right now to listen up. So if you're kind of like listening whilst you're walking the dog or you're at work, just kind of bring your attention to the screen right now, because this is the sea of mediocrity. It's endless samey products, no personality in their branding or their photos. There's nothing eye-catching about it at all. It's boring. And I'm going to be really, really real and honest. This is what Etsy has said, and not just Etsy, by the way. This is what you don't want to do, full stop. But especially the algorithm on Etsy have said they do not want this, which is why they're not clumping together similar products, because they can read your imagery. They can read your shop. They know what your listings contain. So they're not about to start clumping that stuff together, because shoppers do not want to see the same style of necklace over and over again, the same style of bracelet, the same style of t-shirt, of woodwork, of art, all clumped together. Okay. So this really goes so much deeper, as you can imagine, than just your brand, because your brand is just a surface level. We're actually really going to be talking about your target audience and your branding. Your target audience and your products and your branding, which are the trifecta, which are the three things that if you've bought my book, if you've read my book, you will know that I harp on about that quite a lot, because that is the trio of things that at least you need to get right. So rather than having like an overwhelming amount of things to do, basically, I want you guys to focus on the branding arc of the trio for the next 2 weeks. Okay. How are we feeling about this? Any questions? Are we feeling good? Got so many people saying I'm so excited. Awesome. Okay, so no questions or looking good from me. And just a reminder, if you are watching on YouTube or on Instagram, you won't be getting any more of the Brandathon lives throughout, well, Instagram and YouTube. So if you want to join, I've got a little scrolling banner along the bottom. It's handmadebosses.com/Brandathon. Or if you're watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I will send you a nice little automated DM. Also, there will be a giveaway happening on day 3. So even if you get nothing from this, which I very much doubt that you won't, because if you're here with me now, you're putting your all into it, then you're going to get something from it. But we're going to be giving away a shop critique by one of our coaches, a Handmade Bosses planner, and as a lucky dip, we're going to be giving away a book as well. Okay. So just a quick reminder, if you want to screenshot this right now, you can, because this is what's going to be going on essentially over the next 2 weeks. All right. And just a reminder as well, on the Brandathon resources page, don't forget to download your PDFs to go along with this challenge, okay? So make sure you sign up for the challenge, okay? Because that's the only way you're going to get the replays that aren't all like jiggery pokery and all over the place as Facebook does. And you're going to get all the PDFs and all the good stuff for you each day as well. So who's new here? Who's new? Give me like a little wave. Who's new? Who has never, interacted with me before this week? Who's new? Give me a little wave. I'm known as a boomer selling to boomers and their families. Well, you know what? As long as you got your brand right, that's all you need to worry about for the next 2 weeks. Catherine's new. Hello, Michelle. Hello. So if you are new, I'm going to do a little introduction. You know, those like cringeworthy things that I guess a lot of like people do when they do like presentations and stuff like that. Because I feel like I want to get to know you. We're about to spend the next 2 weeks together. So I want to get to know you a little bit more. So if you don't know me, hi, I'm Steph, in case you didn't know. I'm the flower obsessed. You'll only probably see me wearing floral dresses and like boho-y things, hence the thing in my hair today. And I'm a top 0.1% Etsy seller, author, YouTuber, blogger, podcaster, and mentor for over 128,000 business owners with my coaching tips and tricks for Etsy, your own website, and in-person events. That is like my method. That is like my thing. And wherever you are right now, whether you are right at the beginning, whether you are kind of in the struggling stage, or whether you're growing but slowly, and you kind of want to oomph that growth just a wee bit more, I have felt wherever you are right now, okay, because things weren't always so great for me. Neither. I had no idea that my little side hustle was going to save me in more ways than one. And you know what? I'm going to call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. A lot of us are in jobs or doing things daily that we don't like. It affects our mental health. It affects our physical health, especially if, like me, you're working in a job that you absolutely despise. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I have to do it again tomorrow. And then Sunday night comes and it all happens all over again. And you might be craving to do that creative business that really does light that fire in your belly. So honestly, I would love to hear from you. Like, what's your story? If you feel comfortable sharing, I would love to like read some out and kind of say, you know what, where are you coming from? Where are you meeting all of us who are taking this challenge together? Where are you meeting us at? How are you feeling? What's been your journey thus far? Okay. Because when I first started, I didn't have any audience, email list, no credentials at at all. It was just me making jewelry at home, just like, yeah. And I'd spent so much money and time studying for something I found out I didn't want to ultimately do as a career. I spent a ridiculous amount of money. And the sad thing was, we've just taken my big fluffy socks off because I'm getting warm. The sad thing was that I spent thousands studying for gemology, which is something I didn't want to do. And before that, I studied forensic science. Hey, I'm not doing anything with those things right now. So I don't know if that kind of resonates with any of you. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where you're thinking, okay, Heather's Zen Full Crochet. I had to like really read that then. I hate my job and it takes up time I could be working on my business. I feel you. I got lots of newbies waving at me. Hello, and welcome. So I completely feel you wherever you are now, because I wasn't getting the sales at that point. And I'm talking probably 2015. I was really like pushing. I hated my job. I desperately wanted out. And I don't know whether you guys can like resonate with this, but it's almost like this frantic pushing that you're constantly doing because you're desperate to make the business work, and you're pushing and you're shoving yourself into like, square peg in a round hole. You're just desperately trying to make it work. And the problem with that, as we know, is that the more we push, the more frustrated we get when we're not seeing results, because we're making decisions based off of this frantic emotion rather than looking at the strategy behind it, right? And for me, I tried everything. I was doing markets, I was making more products, expanding what I made, hiring SEO experts, which don't exist, by the way, reducing my prices, paying for followers. Yes, I'm going to hold my hands up and say, like 10 years ago, I paid for followers and it sucked. Listening to coaches that lied to me. I tried everything. And yet my sales were still like this, sporadic and inconsistent. So let me know, is that you? Are your sales on a nice even keel, or are they sporadic and inconsistent? Claire, I've had long COVID for 3+ years and I find meeting new people overwhelming now. So hand sewing is a nice quiet thing I can do and rest when necessary. Yes. I'm a mum of 2 girls and they started to go to school and nursery more often. I just realized I needed to become more than just a mum, and the pressure was terrifying. Yes. I'm retired and needed a hobby and started Scandi Craft, making jewelry and home accessories with real flowers, but finding the market very hard to break through. Christy says, I was diagnosed in 2020 with fibromyalgia, so I can't work. So I thought I would team up with my mum and start a craft business. I love that. That's awesome. I've been running my business since COVID for fun at first, has my daughter, and now I'm a stay-at-home mum. I don't want to go back to work and I want to be able to run my business full time whilst also being there for my daughter. Love that. So you can kind of see, right, that each and every one of us has our own deep-rooted needs. We're not just doing this because we want to buy a new car and go on holiday and do all these things. It's nice to do those things, but actually we all have that deep rooted why. And I want you to just kind of like keep that at the forefront of your mind throughout these next 2 weeks, because yes, sometimes the work is going to feel frustrating. And maybe you're feeling like, oh, I just can't seem to break through. And that is what the group is for. That is what the Q&A threads are for. But don't worry, I'm going to be explaining all of this. But for now, I'm seeing in the comments that a lot of your sales were sporadic and inconsistent. I would love for you to give me like a number. I want you to tell me which one you personally relate to the most. Overwhelm. Are you feeling like there's too much to do? I don't know where to start. Lack of sales are really kicking you in the teeth right now. Why is no one buying? You're probably thinking. Social media struggles. What do I even post? I hate social media, but I feel like I need to do it. Who's that? Give me a number 3 in the comments. Self-doubt. Maybe you're quietly thinking, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe it's just not really me anymore. Maybe I'm just not, I keep pushing and it's not working. Maybe it's me. All right. Number 5, fear of wasting money. What if I invest in the wrong thing? What if I pay for Etsy ads? What if I do this thing? What if I buy this thing and it doesn't work? Number 6, your business feels unpredictable. Some months you're up and you're like, yes. Other months you're like, oh God, I've sold nothing. Yeah. Or number 7, you've got no clear plan, no clear path. You want to grow, but you're like, what on earth do I do? Someone give me a recipe like banana bread. I can do that. I can follow a recipe. I'm good. Growing my business, how do I actually turn this into a full-time gig? Like, how do I do that? We've got 2, 7, 1, 3. We've got lots of 3s and 7s. We've got someone who's like all of them, every single one of them. Number 7 and number 3 seems to be the most popular answer. Yeah, which makes total sense. Okay. I can relate to every single one of them. Okay. Because I wrote these things. I wrote every single one of these things, and I can remember feeling this either together in a nice clump or one at a time in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So I can relate to each and every one of them. In fact, at my dad's birthday dinner, between my job and my business income declining, I couldn't afford to pay for the dinner. I was kind of like quietly saying to my then boyfriend, "Hey, can you help a girl out? Because I'm at my dad's birthday dinner and I literally cannot afford to be here." Like it was that crazy. And in fact, if you've been with me for a while, you will know this story, but I'm not quite sure who's local to like Portsmouth way. I'm from like the south coast of the UK. So Portsmouth is just like along the way a little bit. And I went for a day out with my mum, and we went to the cafe at the top of the Spinnaker Tower. It's a very tall tower, kind of like a D-shaped tower. And you can go right up to the top, and there's like a cafe up there. It's really, really cool. And I spent 3 hours looking at that view, nursing my pot of tea, kept getting extra hot water for it. I was like, "Can I have some hot water?" And I literally crafted my leave my job plan. And this became the plan that worked for me with a few tweaks here and there that then basically became the foundations for the HBSA, right? My business gave me the gift of freedom. That's 5: financial freedom, time freedom, geographical freedom, creative freedom, lots of freedoms that I've personally been able to afford with the help of my business. I'm not saying any of this to ever rub it in your face. What I'm saying is it's possible. It just requires a little bit of tweaking here and there. It's not you. There's not anything wrong with you, what you make, your pricing. It just requires probably a few tweaks with those 3 things: your branding, your products, and your target audience. And the Brandathon, aptly named, is going to help you with the branding side of that. And I built a 6-figure handmade business, and I kept making those regular sales. And I've had many more £1,000 plus days since. So my biggest thing with these challenges are, and you will personally see this, like you will see this. So wherever you are watching this right now, you have a little live counter of how many people are watching this live. Now, a lot of people do watch on the replays. So you will see probably quite a lot of people drop off when they're watching live, right? And I just have a little glance. I'm not going to hide it from you. Just have a little look and see how many people drop off when you're seeing that little live counter number in the top right or left hand corner. Because what happens is that people join a free challenge, right? And they go, "Oh yeah, I'll do it if I have time," or "It's nice," or yeah. But they don't really put any effort in, do they? They kind of just do it. They download the things. They have every intention of doing something with it, but they never do. So my kind of thing for you, my mantra for you is, for this challenge, I want you to show up as if you paid £1,000 to be here. As if you paid £1,000, $1,000, whatever, €1,000. I want you to show up for this challenge as if you paid that money to be here. Okay. Just pretend that you've paid to be here. Because if you do, I feel like you have more skin in the game when you're going to actually put the work in. Because as we know, fluffy BS helps no one. And I'm going to be super honest, real, and transparent throughout this challenge. And I would love for you to do the same in return in the comments. Okay. If you feel called out, good, let's work on that. That means there's something emotionally charged there for you that we need to clear. If you feel sad after I've dropped a truth bomb and your gut kind of drops and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's me," that's good, because we can fix that. If you feel annoyed that I've said something that maybe you disagree with, good. Dig into what that means for you, okay? You won't get anything out of this if you skip sections or days, dip in and out, don't engage and help others in the comments. Like, actually chat to people in the comments, guys. These are your brethren. These are your people. They are all here for the same reason that you are. So have a little chat, like their comment, give them a little like, whoop, whoop, encourage them. Also, don't arrive with a closed mind, and don't not do all of the homework. The homework is set for a very specific reason. So I want you to now tell me why you started your business. Was it to make some extra money, get out of a crappy 9-to-5, spend more time with the kiddos, care for someone at home? What was it that made you start your business? I am Bognor Regis. Yeah, I've been there before. So what was that reason? What was that main reason? Someone's put all of them. That's fine. If you vibe with all of them, then that's good. But I would love for you to tell me in the comments why you started your business. Like what was the original kind of headspace that you were in when you were like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. It does take a lot to start a business, right? It takes a lot. It takes a lot to kind of like step out of that comfort zone, you know? So what was it? To do what I love and make money off it, to have freedom. Karen says, trust me, these challenges do help. Love that, Karen. Thank you. Karen's been with me throughout all of these challenges. So if Karen says it, you know it's right. To follow my dreams, something for me, not just being a mom, hobby in lockdown and extra money. I was made redundant. Yes, stay at home, homeschooling mom, retired from 40 years in retail. Oh, I feel you. I did like 15 and I was like done. Honestly, I wanted validation. Thank you for being honest. There's so many comments coming in. That's so cool. Get out of a job with a manager that was a bully. I feel you there. My last job, my boss was actually abusive, and I didn't actually figure that out until quite recently, about sort of 2-3 years ago. Wanted a challenge, wasn't sure I could make it work. Yes, express my creativity, setting myself up for retirement. Love it. So many people have those deep whys, and again, like, make sure that you keep those at the forefront because they are so important. That's your reason that you're here. So hold that close and hold that dear. For me personally, and if you've read my book, you know I go really quite deep with all of like this and my story and all that kind of stuff. But just the Cliff Note version was that it was because of my mental health and my body was suffering. I also wanted to make more money because I knew that I was worth more than minimum wage back in 2013, 14, 15, you know? And I know that your journey has been hard. Some it's been harder than others. Some it's been okay so far. Some it's just been a constant uphill struggle. But you probably have had unsupportive family or friends who are just like, oh, how's your business going? Do you actually make sales doing that? For me, it's my mother-in-law. She does this all the time. And I choose to just tell people that I'm an author. I'm an author. That's what I do for a living because I just cannot cope with having to explain the same thing over and over again. Partners that perhaps just don't get it and don't understand how important it is to you. You might have roadblocks in your way that actually meant that starting a business was so much harder for you. Forum or Facebook posts playing on your mind. Come on, we all have been in a horrific Etsy help group, Facebook group, where all it is just constant negativity. And you end up being like, what's the point? Because all these people are saying it's all going to come crashing down. So why am I even here? Or you might have low sales views, and some days it just all feels like it's totally not worth it. You're putting the hours in and getting nothing out. So again, this challenge will help you build a brand that will make your business magnetic within 1 week. Okay. 2, I guess, if you count this week, but we're not really doing a lot of like deep work this week. We're really preparing ourselves. Okay. Be sure to watch them all though, as they actively work together like a step ladder. And that's why we've put the implementation days in there as well, to make sure that you have chance to get your homework done. Okay. And there's chance to actually catch up in between things. So let's talk about like why this thing will actually work, right? Well, as you know, these days people are just busy. People are just busy, whether it's busy doing things that's actually, you know, productive, whether it's just scrolling on social, on the bus, whatever. Everyone's busy. In fact, our attention spans are just 7 seconds. So your business, whenever it, you know, it's I guess like put in front of anyone's eyeballs, it has 7 seconds. That's it. Before people will either go, nah, it's fine, or yeah, okay, I'm going to have a little click through. 7 seconds. That's if they're your target audience or if they are not your target audience. 7 seconds. How many people when they read that or they hear that, they're like, like, oh God. That's not a lot of time, right? And it's not a lot of time, but 7 seconds is the average attention spans these days. Marketing has changed since 2020 and 2021. How many people here started their business during or just after COVID, and you found things were a lot easier and you were like, yeah, this is good. And then like the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, things started to go and just take a massive downfall. How many people? Let's have some like hands up. Because marketing has changed and the psychology around how people view marketing messages has changed, which means your business has to change too, because if it doesn't, it's going to continue to decline. That is the sad truth, is that if things have been on a decline for a while and you do nothing about it, it will only continue to decline. That's the honest truth of it. Also, just a side note here, if you want to go to my podcast and listen to episode 45, it's quite a recent one, and it's literally titled Marketing Has Changed Since 2020. Here's what's working now, backed by research. This is where I go into like a bit more in depth into like the research and how it's changed. If you fancy having a little listen to that, then do. I can pop it in the comments for you, or if the team's watching and they've got, I've got it, team, don't worry. Let me just pop it in the comments, because that might be like really, really handy for a lot of people. I'm gonna put it on Instagram, but I don't know if you can click it. I don't think you can. If you just go to the podcast, then you'll find out there. Okay, if you want to find out more. But this means that if we basically want people to pay attention to our shop, we need to do a lot more than just list our items and wait for Google, if you have your own website, or Etsy algorithm to do its thing to find you. You need to do so much more now. It's not just a list, wait and pray moment now, like it was in 2020, because the traffic was a lot more. People were being a lot more intentional. The world slowed down. So there was no longer this frantic 7-second attention span, was there? Because everyone had the time to put into it. They had the time to search for a birthday gift for Aunt Mary. They had the time to find the perfect water bottle. They had the time to find the perfect necklace. They had the time. Now they do not. And you need to change if things are feeling very, very slow, especially if you do want results outside of your normal that will boost or make up for lost revenue. So if you've had a really slow Jan, Feb, and you're like, that was unusually slow, at some point in the rest of the year, you're going to have to make that revenue up if you want to hit your target. Okay. So how do we give that boost? How do we like start to make sure that our business gets remembered and not lost in the sea of mediocrity? Right. So I want to ask you a fun question. I had fun making this. This is the help of AI image on Canva. Would you eat in a restaurant that was the same as all the restaurants around it, had a 2-star hygiene rating and people just genuinely said it was awful, never had anyone visit twice, had a cardboard sign slapped on the door that's like Pat's Pancakes, and that's pretty much it, and was soulless inside? Would you eat at a restaurant like this? I mean, the chances are you're all going to say, no, I'm not. Let's see. Would you eat in a restaurant like that? No, you wouldn't. Christy's like, no, I would not. Lots of people are like, not a chance. No. Because there's a level of trust involved. And for me, like, I'm really funny about where I go to eat. And for me, like, I've had food poisoning more times than I can count, and I don't want it again. So I avoid places that in the least bit I'm feeling a bit iffy about. It's the same with your shop, right? Why would someone spend their hard-earned money on a handmade business that was similar? Now, I'm not saying you are as bad as Pat's Pancakes at all, but there is a very, very, very deep level of trust that is needed between your business and how it is presented online, and how the person feels about literally spending their hard-earned money on your products. Now, that's not me being a cow and saying, oh, you got to work really hard. Yes, you've got to work hard, but you've got to work smart mostly. Okay, because it doesn't matter if you're like posting 5 times a day on social media, you're trying really freaking hard. It doesn't matter, because if your branding and your target audience and your products are all wrong, it's not going to do anything, right? So I don't think I've mentioned yet, but the HBSA will be opening its doors next Wednesday on the 19th of March. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I know that a lot of you will probably be like, nah, I'm good. And that's fine. You can still do this challenge. You can still chat to me. You can still ask me questions. I'm still here for you. But if you have been waiting for a little while, and I know that a fair few of you watching have, it is going to open its doors on the 19th of March. And if you want to join the waitlist, you're going to get nearly $3,000 worth of added goodies when doors open. That date's wrong. It should say the 19th of March. So if you want to join the waitlist, I'll pop our team. If you can pop the link in the comments, please, that'll be grand. So if you go to handmadebosses.com/HBSA waitlist, or you can scan this little QR code, that's where the waitlist is. And that's where you are going to get your added bonus goodies. So let's talk about a brand, right? What is a brand? A brand is not nice colors, a cool logo, fancy fonts. Otherwise, the logo on the right-hand side, Tammy's Chokers, would work. And I can tell you for absolute fact, that logo would never fly. It would never work. Okay. So what I want you to do, I need to stop that. I didn't realize that was, oh no, I messed up my slides. Right, let's pause that. Thank you very much, Canva. Just give me a damn moment, please. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to give me the feeling that this brand gives. So when you see Starbucks, when you see this brand, okay, we're going to be doing various amounts of like little boot camps throughout the challenge. What feeling does this brand give you? What feeling does Starbucks give you? What feeling does it give you? Let me know. What feeling does Starbucks give you? I'm gonna wait. Coffee. Karen says, hey, HBSA is defo worth the investment. Thank you, Karen. That's very kind. Coffee, warm, cozy. Okay. Pricey, yeah. Nice coffee, but expensive, cozy. See, for me, I'm always like, you can't put a price on a decent cup of coffee and a vibe for me. Like I would much rather go for like a £5 cup of coffee in a really fantastic quiet coffee shop than spend £20 on a meal out. 100%. Love the Starbucks logo. Yes. A nice treat. Yes. But not cheap. Coffee, cozy, social. Lots of people have said pricey. And that's interesting. And that actually leads me into like a point that I wasn't planning to make. But you know what? I feel like a lot of the time when you price your handmade products, you should be pricing higher than the average. Okay. Mainly because if someone comes up to you and says, that's expensive, I could make that cheaper, they're not your target audience. And it's your right to say, bye-bye, see you later, and just move on, right? The same with Starbucks. You know, we have what, like 80, 90 people watching live. Probably 35% of you have just said, oh, pricey. But you know what? You're not Starbucks's target audience, which is fair, which is okay, which is normal, which is needed. And the same happens with your business. Listen, if you've got a 5% conversion rate, 95% of people that come to your business are never going to buy from you. So actually, you're working off of more people rejecting you than they are accepting you, which is a weird thing to get your head across, right? Nope, I'm not, lol. And that's fine. Like, you're not their target audience. What about this next brand? I feel like maybe a few of you might have heard of this, but maybe there's a few of you who haven't. And that's a good thing, because I want you to look at the logo and tell me what your first thoughts are. And if you've got to go, that's fine. There will be a replay of this. But if you're watching on Instagram or on YouTube, this is the only day you are going to get, unless you join the Brandathon challenge, because the rest of them are going to be in the group only. So if you want to join, and if you're watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I'll send you a DM. Otherwise, go to handmadebosses.com/Brandathon. I've got a nice little thing floating across the bottom of the screen here. So what feeling does this brand give you? Who's heard of it? Gothic, yes. Clothing brand, quirky, gothic, looks gothic. Maria, if you don't know what it is, that's brilliant, because you can tell me what the feelings are that you're getting. Yes. Karen says, like the person who expects to get a set of full fabric handmade coasters for $5, not my target audience. Karen, exactly. And you're literally like, bye-bye, See ya. You're not my target audience. Have a nice life. Not in a bad way, but just like in a we're not vibing, we're not connecting, and that's fine. Jenny says, thanks for this. Someone said to me that my art was really expensive. Fine. Jenny, just go, bye. That's it. Like, thank you, next. Literally, like, what is it an Ariana Grande song? Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Mysterious, dark. Oh, yes, darkness, goth, dent, look, love Disturbia. Yes, someone's got it. Someone knows. I love Disturbia, but I'm not their target audience. I'm like boho and floral and ditzy, but I love some of their unusual clothing pieces. Okay, last one. What about this one? I'm a massive fan of Lush. Lush was actually created just down the road from me. So it will always have a special place in my heart because I feel like I've been buying it right from year dot. But and someone just said off-putting, that's good because you're not their target audience. But see how in the comments, guys, you've got this stark, like you either love it or you hate it. And that's good. That's good. That's what we all should be doing. You should actually be repelling a lot more people than you are attracting, and that's normal. But if you're pricing for everybody, if you're selling products for everybody, if your target audience is very general, if everything in your business is general, you are not going to make it because you need to be specific. And I know that I say this and a lot of you are like, oh my God, that's insane. Like, how can I reject more people than I get? It's just the way it goes because conversion rates rarely get over 10%. So that's 90% of people that are going to come to your shop are going to go, no, thank you. Next, move on. And that's normal, you know? To me, it doesn't say what it does. Lush is full on scent. Yes. Headache / migraines, oversensitive on the nose, overwhelming sometimes. Strong smell. I can smell it just from the logo. Not a fan. See, I love it. I've got a big basket of like bath bombs. I buy it when they're half price in the January sale, and I buy like 50 of them. And I put them in my bathroom, and I love the smell. See me, I'm like, oh, I could spend all day in there, like. Whereas the Chanel perfume counter in like John Lewis or a department store, I'm like, it makes me physically feel sick. It's funny, isn't it, how our brains just associate smells with things? But I really, really hope that is demonstrated how your brand should be like actively weeding out and filtering out the right people from the wrong people. And that's the power of a strong brand. So here's what your customers want. A brand that's different and stands out to them and is easy to find, trustworthiness and credibility, a sense of belonging, and this brand gets me, a high sense of perceived value. So for all of you that are too scared to increase your prices, this is where your brand does the heavy lifting. I'm going to say that again. For all of you who need to increase your prices because you're not making it enough profit to even pay your damn self, for all of you who are scared to raise your prices, your brand should do the heavy lifting for that perceived value, okay? It should be consistent and reliable, aka like posting on social media. You should be consistent with it because that proves that you are reliable, okay? There should be an emotional connection and a reason to buy. And obviously, and I know most of you are going to do this, but you should have a 10 out of 10 customer experience. That is what that's what a customer wants from your brand. And each one of these brands will do that. And that's why they're well known enough for you guys to go, love it, hate it. Do you see what I mean? How you present your business consistently and attract people towards it is everything. And that might mean for you, if you're not doing it right, it might be views but no sales, no views and no sales, or no return buyers, or no reviews. You're just not getting a lot of love. You're not getting a lot of attention and engagement in your business, okay? And that, my friends, is wrapping up exactly what this challenge is going to help you to stop and avoid. So your homework before the 17th of March, I want you to really put some time aside. Please don't watch this while you're doing other things. And because there's a lot of these are quite deep workshops, especially the Maker Mindset. It's about an hour and a half long. It's so freaking worth it. And it is deep. And, if you do get triggered by talking about anxiety and things like that, it might be something that either you watch on like 2x speed or you just skip it. But Other than that, I would say please just watch each and every one of these, and they are completely free. You don't have to pay or put your email in. It's just you go on the resources page and they're there and they're done and they're dusted. So that's your homework, okay? And I'll leave that up on the screen just while I check the comments real quick. Awesome. Well worth catching you on my short lunch break. We'll catch up later. Hopefully tidbits well worth it. Thank you. You are more than welcome. I love that. Okay, so my last little kind of thing here is you'll be glad to know that I hate overcomplication. So I have ADHD myself, and I find it really hard. If things are overcomplicated, I procrastinate and I ain't doing it. Right. So my specialty is to help you not only grow your business to consistent 5-figure months on your own website, Etsy, and in-person events, but also to do it in a way that's simple and easy. No behind the scenes craziness, no ridiculous hack methods, like no changing things every 2 weeks. Like we're all about simple and easy. And I'd love for you that your last thing is give me a yes in the comments if that sounds good to you, if you're vibing with that. If you're like, yeah, you know what? You are my gal. I'm going to listen to you for the next 2 weeks. Awesome. I'm here. I'm ready to put the work in. I'm on it. I'm with you, Steph. Give me a yes. And I'd love to get to know you all as well. Like I said right at the beginning of this. So if you're in the group, which you should be if you've joined the challenge, if you make sure to comment on all of these posts, because it basically helps not only other people to network with you, build friendships with you, comment, chat to you, but also it helps like me and the team to be able to kind of see who's in the challenge so that we can cater it a little bit more towards you guys. And again, my last little plug here is to join the waitlist to get over, well, £2,885 worth of added goodies when the doors open on the 19th of March to the HBSA. So it's handmadebosses.com/HBSA waitlist, or you can scan that icky bicky QR code in the bottom. So see you guys on the 17th of March. One thing I would love to ask though, actually, before you go, is how have you found this? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling like, yes, I'm loving this? What was your biggest aha moment? Are you with me? Are you feeling good? Give me like a little bit of feedback here, guys. I've just been yapping for the past 50 minutes, so I need to hear a little bit of how you guys have found this. God, I needed that. I was dry. How have you found this? How are you feeling about things? Energized, positive. See you on St. Patrick's Day. Yes, I forgot about that actually. Excited and motivated, excited, nervous and excited. Don't be nervous. Inspired, looking forward to it. Awesome. Good. Yes. Hopeful, motivated, ready to start, reassuring. Yes, I'm ready to go. Awesome. I love that. On Instagram, so excited. It's come at the right time for me. So motivating. Love that. So I'm just going to do my last little plug again to join the Blimmin' Brandathon Challenge. Day 0, this one that you're watching here right now, is the only one that's going to be broadcast on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you haven't joined yet, basically from Monday, from next week, no other challenge live. So none of the training, none of the Brandathon stuff is going to be broadcast on Instagram or YouTube. So it's only going to be in the Facebook group. So you need to join the challenge. You need to join the Facebook group. You need to join all the things before Monday. Okay. And don't forget, we have the homework, which are those 3 lives, which are on the resources page. Let me just grab those up for you right now. There you go. So there's these 3 things for you to watch at your leisure. You have a week to do it. Thank you so much for everyone for actually joining me live. So many of you showed up live, and I know that a lot of you are literally joining the challenge. It's literally ticking over like boom, 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 boom. So I know a lot of you are joining in the challenge, which is awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I hope this got you pumped. And I will see you on Monday, the 17th of March, on St. Patrick's Day, no less, where we will go day 1, official start of the Brandathon Challenge. Thank you all so much. Bye, everyone.